Instant news at your fingertips. KFOR.com. You're watching Oklahoma's News Channel 4 at 4:30.
2 students arrested and more after getting into a fight with a police officer. That incident happened just before noon at Southmore High School. First at 4:30, that's where we find News Channel 4's Jesse Wells. He joins us now live with the latest on that story. Jesse?
Well, the 2 teens involved in this case now face a laundry list of criminal charges. That includes disorderly conduct, threatening school workers, assaulting a police officer, and resisting arrest. And during the brawl, one of the 2 students actually had to be maced. For most of the kids at this school, it was just another day, at least until a fight broke out in the middle of the hallway.
I don't know what happened. I just know I turned around and I saw the kid on the ground trying to swing at the officer.
More police say the scuffle started after 2 brothers got into an argument with the school's office staff.
The conversation was getting out of hand. Threats were being made towards the school employees.
When the school's resource officer placed one of the boys under arrest for disorderly conduct, a brawl ensued.
When the officer got the 17-year-old on the ground, the 15-year-old brother then jumped on the officer's back.
That's when the second police officer used mace to subdue the 15-year-old.
He looked like it because his eyes were closed and he was begging the officer if he could wash his face. And then they sat him down and I kind of just tried to avoid it.
We want to use the least force necessary to make the arrest. Obviously, in the officer's opinion, these students were out of control.
Finally, after his arrest, the 17-year-old actually kicked out the window in one of the squad cars. He now faces an additional charge of destruction of city property. Luckily, neither of the 2 officers was injured in this case. Back to you.
Jesse, we heard from the officers who defended their use of mace. Are you getting much reaction from parents and kids?
Well, we did ask several parents and students for their opinions on this topic. We'll have that tonight at 6, and the answers might surprise you. Back to you.
Thank you. Now let's check in with Kevin for a look at other stories making headlines in Oklahoma right now.
Well, Linda, the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education offered not to raise tuition for next school year if the legislature approves the panel's $1.12 billion budget request. The proposed budget is nearly $87 million higher than this year's spending plan. Approval of the request would allow the system to avoid tuition increases that have been as high as 9% at some colleges in recent years. State health officials say Oklahoma faces a shortage of about 3,000 nurses by 2012. The Oklahoma Healthcare Workforce Center says there will also be shortages of lab techs, physical therapists, and other medical professionals. Hospitals have given more than $30 million in the past 3 years to support scholarships, paid internships, tuition waivers, and faculty jobs. Well, construction of a factory outlet mall in West Oklahoma City is being delayed because of uncertainty in the credit and financial markets. The project, which was scheduled to open next fall, now will likely open by mid-2010. That's a look at news making headlines in Oklahoma right now. Linda, back to you.
In national news, Senator Hillary Clinton made her first public appearance since her one-time rival Barack Obama was elected president on Tuesday. Clinton praised Obama's choice of Illinois Representative Rahm Emanuel as the new White House chief of staff. Talked about her previous bid for the White House.
Well, you know, you don't get everything that you want in life or in politics, and I think it's exciting for the country and a welcome relief for the world.
Senator Clinton said she talked with President-elect Obama after his election and has promised to work with him. You know, Veterans Day is just a matter of 4 days away, the day that we recognize our nation's 23 million living vets and those who've passed before us who fought to protect our freedom and democracy. Joining us today are authors Brian Bonnard and Jeremy Hoffman, who put together a book that lets you honor our hometown veterans. We thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We had a chance to chat before the show, and this was really born of a need to let soldiers know we appreciate what they're doing.
Yes, it is. It's written as a tribute to the soldiers and to the family members of the soldiers that are out there and making sacrifices as crazy as just missing a shower on a regular basis or changing clothes. So
in looking through it, though, you guys didn't really write it. You're depending on others to write it.
Correct. It's a unique book that's an interactive inspirational, as we call it. There is a short story in the front of it of an actual experience that took place in soldiers returning home. But other than that, we're counting on the people to write their words of encouragement to the soldiers.
Tell me how it works.
Basically how it works, it's different from your typical chapter book. It's not a book that you're going to sit down and read at the end of the night. It's a book that we like words of wisdom from you, from the mothers, the grandmothers, the parents, the relatives of these soldiers, total strangers of these soldiers that are fighting for our country, that are in the Middle East, or maybe even a veteran that fought in a previous war. These are a way to show them our gratitude and our thanks to them, that we appreciate everything that they've done.
Now, for the most part, really, it's blank pages that, just as you said, people can write in, but it also has a place in the front for you to put a picture of your loved soldier or someone that you know, and then folks write him or her letters. And I think that's the wonderful part about it. They get to hear from a number of people who appreciate what they're doing, and that's what the gift is, isn't it? You have blank pages like that, and they just fill in the pages, particularly kids.
Exactly. You know, right now we're targeting, we would like to get a book that represents every soldier that's fighting for our country right now. And what we like to do is get these books in the classroom and pass them around and let the kids write their words of wisdom, their thank yous to these soldiers, and touch the hearts of these soldiers while they're at war fighting for our country.
The books are $9 each. Where do the proceeds go?
Proceeds go to a foundation that we're working to call the You Can Foundation. It's a nonprofit foundation focused on scholarships for kids and students that are actually raised in children's homes and foster care and so forth. I guess something we know that they can do it. So through the You Can Foundation, we'll get a lot of those proceeds.
So 2 good things to come from this. We thank you very much for joining us. Now, if you'd like more information about this book, it's called Words of Wisdom, Encouragement for the American Soldier. You can log on to our website, KFOR.com, and we've created a link to their website where you can find the book locally. And still to come at Oklahoma's News Channel 4 at 4:30. If you want to help your community and grab a few bargains at the same time, I'm going to explain how coming up. And are you putting off cooking that turkey because of the extended cook time? How to cut that more than in half. A consumer alert you don't want to miss coming up.